Sparka.com/marketing. Sparka.com/marketing, advanced Google SEO strategies for professionals. In this episode, we're going to go through the top 3 reasons why you're not showing up on page 1 of Google, even though, in spite of the fact that you've got thousands of links coming to your website. Now, they can be totally legitimate links coming from real bloggers in your industry, literally thousands of them, maybe even some name brand blogs like Forbes. We happen to be linked to from Forbes, and it made absolutely no difference in our search rank. Why is that? We're going to go through that. And here are the 3 reasons: content above the fold, load time, and bounce. If you have any one of these things wrong, I don't care if you have a million links going to your website from all the best blogs in the world and all the best websites in the world, you're not going to be page 1 on Google. But before we get into it, I'd love to ask you for a thumbs up. It's that button right down there somewhere. If you give us a thumbs up, it'll help us be found, so you're helping us. And it helps the small business owners, it helps the startup entrepreneurs that are trying to break through the Fortune 500 world and make a living for themselves, find our information. So it helps everybody all around. I thank you for that thumbs up. Now, back to the point, content above the fold. Google's philosophy, Google's core motto is deliver, 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 fast, fast, fast. They want you to be able to use Google and get an immediate sense of gratification. And that's just not going to happen if they find your link on page 1 of Google. Let's say it's the number 1 link on page 1 of Google, by the way, which gets 300% more clicks than the number 2 link. That's the difference. If you get 1,000 clicks a day from the number 2 link, you'll get 3,000 clicks if you're in the number 1 position on page 1 of Google. That was an aside. So now, if they get your link, they click, and then they actually have to wait and scroll down to find any valuable content, the user's response, the user's emotional, visceral, guttural reaction is going to be, oh, I used Google, and I got this crappy website that I have to scroll bar, scroll bar, scroll bar. So that's why Google makes sure that anybody that's listed on page 1, especially the number 1 slot of page 1 of any Google search result, has content immediately. The moment you click to it, you get real content. And that content can be a photo. It doesn't have to be text. A case in point, Wikipedia. The moment you click on a Wikipedia link, you don't even have to scroll. You've got about 5 minutes of reading for anything that's Wikipedia on that first screen above the fold without any scrolling whatsoever. Now you know why number 2 is so important, load time. If you go to pingdom.com, I use pingdom.com, you can use any one of dozens of website server speed tests, and test the URL of your number 1 competitor in the number 1 spot of Google's page 1 for your industry, for what you do, for your field. That spot that you want, whoever is occupying that number 1 spot, take that URL and drop them inside pingdom.com and see how fast that page comes up. It probably comes up in about a second, 1.5 seconds, 1.2 seconds. It won't come up over 3 seconds. Now, try the same test with your website. How many seconds does it take for your website to show up entirely? Again, it's in Google's interest to be able to deliver an immediate, speedy reaction. And even if Google can deliver its users, you and your customers, a really fast, instant gratification response, but once they go to your website, it takes 4, 5, 6 seconds. You may think 4, 5, 6 seconds to load a website. That's ridiculous. I'm telling you, it's not. Most websites on GoDaddy, for instance, take about 6, 7, 8 seconds to load. And that makes Google look bad. Very bad. Number 3 is bounce. And this one's tricky because if you're not technical or if you're not a webmaster, the concept of bounce may not even be fresh in your mind or digestible in your mind. What that means is when I go to your website, how quickly, or do I even bounce away from your website and go back to my point of origin to your website? And in this case, the point of origin to your website is Google. So you can tell, how can you tell a good restaurant from a bad restaurant? It's how long the customers stay in that restaurant, right? You go in to a restaurant, and if you want to come straight out of the restaurant, the moment the food is served, for whatever reason, presentation, smell, cleanliness, hygiene, you know for a fact, even if it was a bystander walking by, they would know for a fact that this restaurant is a no-go. It's off limits, it's no good, I'm not going there, right? Google does the same thing with your website. If someone finds your website, but if some off chance it takes 22 seconds to load, you have to scroll through ads, you have to scroll through all sorts of garbage to get any valuable, meaningful data. But Google somehow showed your website to a user. That user goes there and says immediately, oh, and comes back to Google, does another search, the same search again, and goes to a different website. But this time they don't come back for 3 days, and when they do come back in 3 days to use Google, they search for something totally different. Now they know. Now Google knows. They know that that website that they went into and disappeared into for 3 days is damn good. That's bounce rate. You want zero bounce rate, and if they do bounce at all back to Google, you want them to bounce back 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. How you do that? Content and design, form and function. Those are two things that you have to get down. This is why graphic designers and experienced writers charge thousands of dollars to write one page, literally, to get a really good direct response writer, direct response copywriter, to write you a call to action based blog page, call to action based web page. It'll cost $2,000-3,000 to do. We know because that's how much we charge and that's what we do. If you can do it yourself, make sure that when someone goes to your website and watch your server log, whenever someone comes to your page, make sure that they stay there for at least 5 minutes. If you need professional help getting to page 1 of Google, contact us. We're at sparka.com/marketing, SPARKAH.com/marketing. We're looking forward to getting you all over the web. Or if you're not ready for professional help and you want to learn more about social media marketing and advanced Google SEO strategies, just click subscribe. I think the subscribe button is up here somewhere, or it's over here. It depends on what page you're watching this video on. And if you're watching this video in someone's embedded blog, you'll actually have to click on the video to actually enter. You know what to do. Looking forward to talking with you and seeing you soon.